Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
A man and woman arrested last week in connection with a missing persons case out of Wahpeton made their first court appearances this afternoon. 39-year-old Jason Jensen and 34-year-old Kayla Westcott are charged with second-degree aiding and abetting in the murder of 41-year-old Troy Yarbrough. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley tells us more about the graphic details released in court documents today leading up to Yarbrough's death. Bailey?
Thanks, Andrea. These court documents today reveal that on May 20th, Kayla Westcott said she ended up at a Hitterdal farmstead with both Troy Yarbrough and Jason Jensen. Westcott says the three were in a large red shed when Jensen came around a corner and hit Yarbrough over the head with a yard rake handle and then with an axe. Westcott says Jensen then told her to hit Yarbrough with the axe, but she says she missed when she swung. Documents say that Yarbrough was then left in the shed overnight. When Westcott and Jensen went to the shed the next day, Yarbrough was still alive. Westcott claims that Jensen then hit Yarbrough over the head with a cinder block, killing him. Documents say that Jensen claims it was actually Kayla Westcott who murdered Yarbrough with both the stick and the cinder block. He states that he was pretty drunk during the events, but did help to get rid of the body. Jensen says after Yarbrough was killed in the shed the next morning, they placed his body in a burn pit on the property. Jensen said he and Westcott then put the remains in a garbage bag and buried it in the trees behind the garage. We did some digging and found a picture on Kayla Westcott's Facebook of her kissing Jason Jensen with the caption, "Loving this day." It was posted on May 20th, which is the same day the pair says Yarbrough was killed and burned. Andrea?
All right, thank you so much. Jason Jensen was set at $2 million each early this afternoon. They're scheduled to be in court again on July 6th. A Moorhead woman is behind bars after police say she tried to run over her ex-boyfriend. Fargo police say the situation unfolded Sunday morning around 9:30 in the Shields Home and Hardware parking lot. 22-year-old Alyssa Ginger was seen by a caller trying to hit her ex with a car. The two had reportedly just broken up. When police arrived, Ginger was gone. She was later found in Moorhead and arrested for attempted murder and driving under suspension. Her ex was bumped by the car, but he didn't go to the hospital and was okay on the scene. Ginger is expected to be extradited to Fargo this week. Protesters are in an uproar over the shooting death of Thurman Blevins. An activist group had already planned to protest against police violence during the Minneapolis Pride Parade Sunday, but the protest took on a more immediate purpose after Blevins was shot by police. Minneapolis police responded to 911 calls around 5:30 Saturday night of a man firing a gun. Police say when they arrived, the man was shooting a gun into the air and into the ground. Officers chased the man before he was eventually shot and say a gun was found at the scene. There are conflicting witness reports, with the Associated Press reporting that some witnesses disputed that the man had a gun.
But the news probably won't tell you. The only thing they'll tell you is that this black man had a gun. But we live in a country where it's supposed to be one of our rights to own guns. So even if he did have a gun, why is this man dead?
The protesters say they will not stop until they have justice for the man killed. It remains quiet outside with some clouds, but for the most part, fairly nice. Hutch, could we see any rain later tonight?
A few of us will see some passing showers, mainly of the hit and miss variety. Not all of us will see them, but the most concentrated activity in our southern and eastern counties from Lakes Country down towards the Sisseton Hills. We're seeing a few showers develop. Now, as we go through the evening hours, there'll be a chance of a passing thunder shower. Not anticipating severe weather with temperatures in the 70s for the entirety of our evening. We remain mostly cloudy to cloudy. Look at Grand Forks, a little less cloudiness up there. Can't rule out a thunder shower in the Northern Valley, although I think they'll be even more isolated up north as we go through the evening. Showers and thunderstorms will be a common factor in our forecast as we go through the week. Unsettled weather ahead. I'll have details in your hour-by-hour forecast here in just a little bit.
Okay, thanks so much, Hutch. Fargo police are warning the community about a high-risk sex offender. This man, 32-year-old Eric Nathaniel Hutchinson, now lives at 725.5 14th Street North. That's just a few blocks from a soccer complex in Fargo. Hutchinson was convicted in North Dakota for 2 counts of corruption of a minor. The victim was a girl under 14. High-risk offenders are the most likely to recommit a disturbing act. Today, North Dakota Attorney General Wayne Stenjum released the crime stats for the state of North Dakota. The state saw a 60% increase in child pornography last year, a 19% increase in rape or gross sexual imposition. And for drugs, North Dakota saw a more than 4% increase from the year prior. In ranking order, drug arrests increased on marijuana charges, meth, and heroin.
But I know from talking to the folks in our task forces, local law enforcement, that a lot of the drug activity drives the burglaries and the robberies and the other kinds of offenses that we're seeing.
Attorney General Wayne Stenjum says people trafficking drugs into the state is a concern because those people are usually heavily armed. The former public schools superintendent in Shakopee, Minnesota, who stepped down after he was accused of using district money to make personal purchases, now faces new charges. Shakopee police said Rod Thompson turned himself in on Monday on 4 new charges of unauthorized computer access, computer damage, and theft. Thompson resigned in June of last year amid an investigation into personal purchases he made using district money. Thompson charged thousands of dollars worth of personal expenses to a district credit card. Thompson was forced to resign, but not before getting a $50,000 severance package from the district. War veterans in the West Fargo area are celebrating the opening of a new space named in their honor. The city officially cut the ribbon on the new POW MIA Plaza outside of the West Fargo VFW. It has both a cement patio and a grassy park area for outdoor events. The celebration also served as a farewell party for West Fargo Mayor Rich Mattern and City Commissioners Dwayne Hanson and Mark Wentz. Pattern says the plaza is just the first step toward downtown growth.
I hope it becomes a gathering place for a lot of people in this area. There's going to be more buildings coming up. There's going to be events in here. We can do little concerts in here in the wintertime. I just see it as a gathering place for the new buildings downtown and for the people in this area of the town.
This was Mattern's last official action as mayor of West Fargo. State regulators will meet this week to decide whether to approve or reject Enbridge Energy's proposal for replacing its Line 3 oil pipeline across northern Minnesota. Tomorrow, the Public Utilities Commission will resume questioning Enbridge officials, as well as other supporters and opponents of the project. The panel could then deliberate up until Friday at the latest before making its decision. Line 3 was built in the 1960s. It runs from Alberta across North Dakota and Minnesota to Superior, Wisconsin. Enbridge says the pipeline needs replacing to ensure safety and restore capacity because the existing pipeline is increasingly subjected to corrosion and cracking. But climate change and tribal activists object because it would carry Canadian tar sands crude and risk spills in pristine waters where Native Americans harvest wild rice. The Little Red Reading Bus has been making its rounds at some West Fargo parks this summer, encouraging kids to spend time diving into their favorite books. From early childhood books to chapter books, the bus offers an assortment of titles to dig through. The bus has classics like Junie B. Jones and Dr. Seuss, but also gives kids a chance to expand their horizons. Even though it can be hard to keep kids engaged in reading during the summer, the Little Red Reading Bus is making it look like a blast.
We have this idea that maybe kids aren't outside as much anymore. Maybe they're plugged into devices. We're making reading kind of visible and kind of cool, right?
The Little Red Reading Bus will be out at the parks until August 16th. To find a full schedule, visit our website and click on the Hot button. A merger is in the works in Fargo between the Neuropsychiatric Research Institute, or NRI, and Sanford Health. And that means NRI will now have access to Sanford clinical resources, which will allow, they say, for better treatment for patients. The partnership also expands Sanford's research efforts with a goal of establishing a major research program here in Fargo. The two groups have collaborated in the past. Employees at NRI will join Sanford, but will continue to work from the same 8th Street South location. Big news involving the owner of Valley News Live. Gray Television announced a $3.6 billion deal with Raycom Media this morning. This deal would make Gray Television the third largest television broadcast group with the biggest collection of top-rated TV stations in the country. Gray TV management expects the deal to be finalized by the end of the year.